Welcome to Victory Vets. We have the victory. So on this video, I'm going to discuss how to start your VA claims process. So this is a brand new channel. Hopefully it benefits a lot of veterans out there. I myself am 100% permanent and total. Been this way for about 2 years now, but I've been retired from the Army for about 6 years. So it took a while for me to get here. So I'm going to give my little story as far as like how I got here and how I can actually help you guys get to that point as well. Because not to say that every single person, every single veteran deserves 100%, but I do believe that every veteran that's out there actually deserves some type of compensation, regardless of whether you were you couldn't make it through basic training and you got injured, or you made it to 20 years or more, and you feel like you're pretty healthy. But trust me, something is wrong with you. And I'm not wishing this on anybody as far as like bad health. I'm just saying that you cannot spend a certain amount of time in the military and not have some type of ailment, right? So the VA knows this. And one thing I think a lot of veterans don't understand is that once you join the military, the government already allocates certain funds for you, anticipating that you're going to stay in or get out at a certain time. So the money is there, right? So this is not a handout. This is not some type of welfare check. The military automatically allocates funding for the VA when it comes to giving compensation to their service members. So this money, for the most part, is yours as long as you meet the criteria based off of VA standards, right? So one thing I want to start off is when it comes to filing for your claim, one of the first things you need to do is actually figure out if there's something wrong with you, right? And that goes off with looking at your military records, health records, obviously, right? But one thing that folks need to actually request is what's called a C file. It's called your claims file, or what folks would call back in the day a claims folder. And what this file is, it basically gives you all your military records as far as medical. So from the time you went to MEPS all the way until the time you actually was discharged from the military, it shows everything. I filed for mine maybe about 3 years ago when I was trying to move from 90% to 100. And I mean, well, it was on the disc. I mean, of course, it wasn't paperwork, but I would say that file had maybe almost 2,000 pages, maybe. That's not including my x-rays, which they actually did have in that file, and a couple other things. So I did 20 years in the Army. So my record was actually pretty big. Back in the day, they would give you actually like a paper form, which I'm pretty sure was pretty convoluted, but now everything's digital. So actually mine was sent to me on a disc. That's one of the things that I would suggest that everybody does first before you actually file for your claim. Now, actually, I'm sorry, as a caveat to that, you need to do what's called an intent to file, okay? So what an intent to file is basically you're telling the VA that you intend on actually filing for VA compensation. For example, let's say that I filed for my claim November 1st of this year. This year is 2024 as recording this video. So let's say I put in for an intent to file to the VA November 1st. I don't submit my claim until maybe like March, April time frame of 2025, meaning that it took me a while to gather paperwork, get my medical records, get late statements, which I'll go into another video, and some other things I needed to have to compile my claim for me to submit it to the VA. Let's say for whatever God knows reason, I hope it doesn't take this long. But let's say for whatever reason, the VA sees it in my favor, but they don't give me compensation and grant me service connection to my claim until the very next year. So let's say November of 2026, right? So we're talking 2 years from the time that I filed my claim in 2024 until actually was granted service connection November 1st of 2026. The VA is going to be obligated to back pay you from November 1st of 2024, because you told the VA that you was intended to file for your claim. So because you were service connected, you're telling the VA that I should have been paid these 2 years that I was actually placing my putting things in for my claim, versus you actually get granted service connection and they grant you a service date of whatever time they granted you the connection. So depending on how much you're being rated for, you're missing out on literally thousands of dollars that you could be owed to yourself had you filed for the intent to file. So that's one thing you definitely need to do. Go on va.gov, create an account if you don't have one already, right? Create an account on va.gov. There's a search engine here on va.gov, and actually all you need to do is type in intent to file, and it'll give you like a link you can go to. It's an online tool, so you don't have to submit any paperwork, and you can file your intent to claim tomorrow, right? And then that gets the ball rolling. So you have 1 year from the time you actually do your intent to file to to actually put in your claim. So that creates a placeholder with the VA, letting the VA know you're going to actually submit a claim. As soon as you do the intent to file, you need to actually submit for your claims file to come to you. Mine came in the mail, and I want to say it took about 4 months. Now, I'm not saying you cannot start the process of actually getting the ball rolling when it comes to filing for your claim after you do your intent to file. But what I would tell you is that claims folder is going to be a vital key in order for you to prove to the VA that you have certain things wrong with you. Because with the VA, it's not what you tell them, it's what you can prove. And this is also catered to folks that are going to do this on their own. Now, there are avenues you can take. You can go to some type of third party to have your claim done. You can go to the VFW. They'll have folks there that can do it for you. I did that for my second claim. You have the DAV. There's a couple other avenues you can take when it comes to actually letting somebody else do the claim for you. But this is catered to folks that either they don't trust anybody to do their claim, or they actually had somebody do their claim, they messed it up, or they paid somebody to do their claim and they looked at it like, well, it wasn't going to be paying this money. Because one thing I would tell you, and not no shade to any entity that actually charges veterans for submitting their claim, because you have law firms that actually will charge a veteran to file their claim. But not to say they have 100% success rate, but I mean, it is beneficial in some instances where you can actually use a lawyer or use a third party that actually has the capabilities for them to actually give you the tools and write your claim up to the point where it aligns with VA doctrine, right? But I know for myself, I did the benefits upon discharge program, and I filed my claim before I left the Army. So about a month later, after I retired, I got my first paycheck, and I was granted 80%, which shocked the crap out of me, because I'm like, man, like, I didn't think I was even that broke up, right? And then about a year later, I submitted a second claim. I went through the VFW, and I went from 80 to 90. And then I contacted the person again because my sleep apnea kept getting denied. So I contacted the person again for a couple of months, didn't get any feedback. I don't know what happened to her. Hopefully she's doing okay. But to this day, I don't know what happened to the lady. So I'm not sure she got sick or whatever. But like I said, God bless her. She did a phenomenal job when she created my packet for my second claim. But I really didn't trust anybody else to do it outside of her, because she did so much of a good job. And I went through the process so many times and looked at how the VA actually giving me letters. And I basically did my own research, and then I just decided to do my claim on my own. So I took about a year and a half after I went for my third claim for me to get granted the other elements that I filed for. But I did it by myself. That's that third time, and I went from 90 to 100 permanent in total by myself. But anyways, yeah. So I would say, figure out exactly what is wrong with you. If you have anything wrong with you, do the intent to file through va.gov. Create an account if you don't have one, and then also submit for your C file. Those are the three things that I would say you need to do first when it comes to you actually filing for your VA compensation. And then also be able to familiarize yourself with the 38 CFR. I'll delve into that in another video. And, just do the research. I know a lot of veterans, they may have some mental ailments that may prevent them from staying focused on these things. So that's why I say that it's not a bad thing. You have certain engines out there that will help a veteran be able to file their claim. But if you want to do this on your own, and you feel confident enough, you're able to do this, then you definitely need to do it without actually having to come out of pocket to pay for the thing, right? Because one thing that I will say when it comes to veterans, we all work with each other, right? I mean, it's a brotherhood. It's a brotherhood and a sisterhood, right? We have women in the military as well. So I know for this channel, I'm here to help you guys navigate that process, because I believe that with me becoming 100% permanent and total, I think I have an obligation for me to help service members when it comes to this, because I've gone through the process. I've went through all the red tape, and I've actually encountered some situations that I do not believe that has been shown on other YouTube channels when it comes to explaining certain things that I've gone through. I watch a lot of VA veterans channels, especially when I was going through the process myself. And there's a couple of situations that I've come up on that I'm like, I don't think I've seen anybody talk about this, So there's gonna be a couple of other videos that I'm gonna come out with that's going to delve more in depth with this process. And then I'm also going to use this channel to actually put out news for veterans. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys got something from the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm not going to say that too much because I already have a channel. The thing is that when you put out information and it is beneficial to folks, they're going to be more inclined to like, comment, subscribe, and I don't even have to say anything about that, right? Because if I'm giving you information, then, naturally folks are going to support that, right? So I hope I get enough support, to push this content out as much as possible to help veterans. I want to keep money in your pockets, y'all. I really do. I didn't pay a dime or a penny for anything that I did when it came to the VA. Everything was free. Now, I'm not saying I would have not paid anybody if I had got stuck, but I chose every avenue or approach possible, for me to do this thing without paying anybody, and it paid off, literally, right? So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and this channel is called Victory Vets. So this is all about you guys having victory in everything you do in life, all right? This is Victory Vets signing out. I'm gone.